Hello, I'm John Kidder. Welcome to the Ashcroft 2018 Civic Election Candidates Q&A. I'm going to be interviewing all the candidates for mayor and council. Each candidate will get a total of 5 questions. All the questions are the same for the candidates, and they've all seen the questions beforehand just to make sure that we're even-handed. So thank you for listening in and look forward to the interviews. I'm here with Barbara Roden. Barbara's a candidate for mayor of Ashcroft in the upcoming 2018 civic election. Barbara's lived in Ashcroft for 22 years. She's a journalist, a writer, a 2-time winner of the World Fantasy Award. Maybe she can tell us a little bit more about that. She's been married to Christopher for 26 years, one son, Tim. Her hobbies include acting, directing, reading, cross-stitching, and her interests, as we know, include local history, Sherlock Holmes, classic films, and ghost stories. She's been on Ashcroft Council for 4 years. And she's been with the Winding Rivers Arts and Performance Society since 2012, president for the last 5 years. She was chair of the Ashcroft Pact for 4 years, on the board of Historic Hat Creek, and she writes an Ashcroft Heritage presentation every year. So Barbara, welcome, glad you're able to be here with us. So as you know, we're going to go through 5 questions. So let's just start with the first one here. I've asked you to try to imagine an Ashcroft as you might see it 10 or 20 years from now. And then try and tell us what that looks like to you.
Well, I think, John, that Ashcroft in 10 or 20 years from now has significantly more housing than it has now, and it's got a more diverse range of housing. It's housing that fits a wide range of people, from single people to families with young children to seniors. We need to be innovative when it comes to new housing. The days of the single-family detached home on a 60 by 120 lot are not necessarily over, but people are looking to more density. So we need to look at that, because Ashcroft has a very limited land base. So we need options that give us more density, along with more single-family homes. But we need to look at the needs of people, especially an aging population that maybe is looking to downsize. They want one level, a smaller lot, so they don't have as much gardening to do, but they can still go out and enjoy the things that they've always enjoyed. We also need more seniors housing, either with an addition to Thompson View Lodge and Manor, or by a new seniors housing development, preferably downtown, so it's easier for people to access the amenities and services, or possibly some combination of both of those things. I see Ashcroft as a place where the latest innovations in healthcare are adapted and promoted and used by our citizens. Telehealth is becoming increasingly big, with innovations being made there all the time. Ashcroft needs to ensure that we remain at the forefront of testing and rolling out these new programs, such as the Heat Alert Response System, which Ashcroft Council is partnering with Interior Health on, which is going to show us how to deal with the increasingly severe heat and smoke events that we find ourselves dealing with now. It's a really exciting partnership. Ashcroft is one of 2 communities in the country that's been singled out for this, and I'm really excited to see where that goes. I see Ashcroft as a place where people can continue to celebrate our amazing history and heritage, and people coming here for our amazing displays of public art. You look at what happened with Chemainus and the murals there back at the end of the last century, and I think Ashcroft has the potential to be that kind of place, a mecca that draws people here for the art. And I see the Ashcroft Terminal Inland Port as a huge economic driver, not just for Ashcroft, but for our region. And we need, as a council, to continue to support that, so that in 20 years' time, that is a huge driver for the province.
Thanks, Barbara. Well, so given that kind of a vision, what do you see as the role of the mayor of Ashcroft over the next little while in helping to make that happen? What is the role of the mayor in a small town like this?
Well, the role of the mayor is primarily to listen to the people of Ashcroft. You're representing Ashcroft. You have to be there to listen, to understand the issues and challenges, and to identify things that can be done to make our community a better place. It's not enough just to sit around a council table. You have to be proactive and innovative, and you have to research things and find out what people want and need, and is that doable. But the mayor of Ashcroft is also representing Ashcroft on a much bigger stage. You're interacting with people from other agencies and organizations, with MLAs, with MPs, with the Premier. So you have to have a wide range and a thorough knowledge of the issues that are facing Ashcroft, so you can be an effective spokesperson for Ashcroft on a much larger stage, so that if there are grants and opportunities going, you have to be prepared to champion that. And I think that the mayor of Ashcroft can be a leader regionally in working with other people in the region, with other municipalities, with mayors, with First Nations leaders, with regional directors, because Ashcroft does not exist in a vacuum. We're part of a much larger region. The things that are affecting other communities are affecting us, and we need to work together with the other partners in our area because we're stronger together.
Thanks. So given the picture you've laid out for 10, 20 years from now and the role of the mayor, can you just think back a bit and think, what would you like to see the town look and feel like at the end of this next 4-year term of the mayor and council?
I'd like Ashcroft to be a place that attracts a wide range of residents, visitors, and businesses with a range of services, attractions, and amenities that cater to all sorts of different interests and to people who are maybe looking for a different lifestyle, whatever that happens to be. We need to be a welcoming place for a diverse group of people and a wide range of people, seniors, young families, single working people, and we need to be a safe place where people know that they're safe.
Okay, so given that, then there's some subsets to this question. I'm going to ask you what practical and doable approaches you want to take to work in that direction. And I'm going to ask whether you're familiar with, I'm sure you are, and in general agreement with the official community plan, the 5-year financial plan. Do you see issues that aren't addressed in these plans coming up? And are there particular initiatives that are important to you that you might want to get up over the next term?
Well, I'm very familiar with the 5-year financial plan and the official community plan. I've been on the OCP committee. It's been a 2-year process to overhaul our OCP and zoning bylaws. That is a critical economic development tool for the village. And it also has had a lot of community input. So it's where the community wants to see us as well. I think it is wonderful to have an up-to-date document that will help us with economic development, will make it easier for businesses, and will give community members the community that they have identified that they want to see in 5, 10, 20 years from now. Things that I'd like to see in town include an off-leash dog park, which is a great amenity for residents, and it's a great economic driver. People will come here because there's an off-leash dog park as they're traveling. They'll come into our town. Electric vehicle charging station. Sales of electric vehicles are soaring. We need to get ourselves on the map there so that, again, people have a reason to come to Ashcroft, and while they're charging their vehicles, they'll be walking around our town and helping with economic development. I found a consulting firm that is doing a study right now about the viability of a new hotel in Ashcroft, which will, if it's built, will attract business and visitors to come here and spend their money here. I researched and proposed the Quest Upon Augmented Reality Tour, which is now a reality in Ashcroft, so that's bringing people here. I'd like to form an emergency preparedness committee. The community has made it very clear that emergency preparedness is very important to them, and I'd like to work with the community and other groups in the community to, what's that going to look like? What do we need to do? How can we be even better prepared than we are? I'd like to support the Ashcroft Hub financially, the same way we do with communities in Bloom, because they're providing a lot of amenities that are going to attract young families especially to come here. I think it's crucial that local government takes a role in how can we provide daycare, because we're hearing again and again that that is a huge drawback for young families. They need daycare.
Thanks, Margaret. So we've got 1 minute and 20 seconds left, so I just want to go over to you and say why should the people of Ashcroft vote for you, Barbara Roden in particular?
Well, over the last 4 years, I've been the most proactive member of Ashcroft Council in terms of researching new initiatives and bringing them to the table. And I've built the consensus to get these things done, which is a huge part of being on any council and being mayor. I'm one voice among 5, and I'm glad that my fellow council members over the last 4 years have agreed that the proposals I brought forward have been good for the town, and I'm glad that they're in place. I have a thorough knowledge of local and regional issues, which means I would be a great representative for Ashcroft, both here and on a larger stage. And I work hard. I've worked hard over the last 4 years to listen to people, to listen to their concerns and challenges, to ensure that Ashcroft Council is listening and is doing things about those concerns and challenges. I build consensus, I do my homework and research, I'm open, and if I'm fortunate enough to be elected mayor, I will continue to work hard to make Ashcroft a great place to live, visit, do business.
Thank you very much, Barbara Roden, candidate for mayor, Ashcroft 2018. It was a pleasure to visit with you. Thanks, Barbara.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.